In today's video, we're going to go over the 4 buttons in the center console of my E63 AMG so you can know what they are and how to use them. So let's get into the video. Alright, so what we have here are 4 buttons on the center console. They all have a different function, but they're all pertaining to the transmission and the suspension. So the first button here is the drive mode selector. It has 4 different presets on it, or settings, with one additional setting here which is more so of a launch control. But as far as driving, these 4 modes here are the main ones. So you have a comfort mode, a sport mode, a sport plus mode, and a manual mode. So as you change the buttons on your center console here, they will also change up on your instrument cluster. So C for comfort, sport, sport plus, and manual. Another thing with your drive mode is you don't want to change it when you're moving. And per the manual, it says that as well. The reason that I'm thinking is because comfort mode starts from 2nd gear. The other drive modes start from 1st gear. So let me show you. As you see there, I am in comfort and I am in 2nd gear. If I change it to sport, then it drops down to 1st. Sport plus, manual. And also, as you see there, when it goes to manual, it switches to the 7 gears: 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, all the way to the 7th gear. If I go back to comfort, then we switch back to 2nd gear. So I'm assuming that's the reason why you don't really want to change it while you're moving. Now, if you're going, above 2nd gear, then I'm assuming it won't just automatically drop down to 1st gear, but I always change mine before I start driving. Alright, the second button is going to be the sport button. So when we hit the sport mode button, the sport light comes on as well as the message saying sport handling mode. Now we're going to push down and hold it. And as you see there, it says ESC is off, and you get the little lamp that comes on saying that it's off. In this mode, as I mentioned, you can definitely get sideways and there's no warning saying that your wheels are spinning or any of that. If you're in this mode, drive at your own risk and make sure you're doing it safely. If you press it again, then you turn it on, the ESC light will go off and you're back to normal. Alright, the next button is for the suspension. 2 levels. If you press it once, then you get a tighter suspension. And if you press it twice, then you get an even tighter suspension. And if you press it the 3rd time, then it takes it away. But essentially, if you're looking for more of a stiff suspension, then you press this until you get to your desired stiffness. I personally like to drive on 1 if I'm on an expressway, and if I'm not, then I leave it usually just on off, or the default setting. If you put it on 2, that is very stiff, and you probably would use that more so if you were doing like a road track or something like that. That way you don't have that much body roll when you're in the corners. And the last button is the AMG button. Essentially what this is, it's just a preset button that you can configure, and it allows for you to press this one button and it would change all 3 of these settings at one time. So when you press the AMG button, you will see that the drive mode switched to Sport Plus, my suspension went to Sport Plus, and on the dash here, you'll see the same things are reflected. You have Sport Plus for the transmission, ESC is on, and the suspension is at a Sport Plus. Okay, so let's say I wanted to switch my AMG settings, and I wanted my suspension on just Sport, and then I wanted my drive mode on just sport as well. So as you can see there, it changed up top there, but I want to lock it in to my AMG button here. So what you do is you press and hold it. You get a audible confirmation, and then let's see, if I change it to comfort, turn this off, press my AMG button. Now you can see my suspension is at sport, as well as my drive mode is at sport. And that is also reflected on the instrument cluster. All right, so just a little overview of what the buttons are, what they do, how to use them. So I hope that brought you some value. If it did, please give me that thumbs up, as well as click that subscribe button down below and hit that notification bell. That way you don't miss out on any future videos that I upload. And as always, do it until you can't. Until next time, I'm out.